In this video, we set our clock radio on our 2020 Kia Soul EX. Stay tuned. Welcome back and/or to the channel. Today we are setting our clock radio on our 2020 Kia Soul EX. Now the reason I'm doing a bunch of these smaller videos like this is because I want to get this information out. A lot of it's kind of generic stuff, but when somebody really wants to set one quickly, they don't want to be searching for a bunch of info online. So I did one. I'm going to be doing a bunch of them here. You're going to see the two-wheel drive tank back there. I'll be doing one on that. I'll also be doing one on the Silver Swine. So those will be coming out. But today we've got the 2020 Kia Soul. We have a few projects that we want to do to this car. Hopefully I can get some of that stuff lined up and get it here. Once I get it here, we can start focusing on getting the installs of that product and those things done. There's a few things I'm looking at. I don't want to spoil too much, but there are some projects in the works for it. What we're going to do today, though, is pretty basic. It's just setting the clock radio. And on a Kia Soul, it's very, very easy. And the reason it's so easy is because they have auto set features on it. A lot of it is just like an internet-based thing where it just automatically uploads. That's one thing nice about the new technology is you get a lot easier ways of doing simple things. It isn't as complicated as back in the day where you had to press and hold a button, wait for it to flash. You don't have a bunch of that anymore, so it's pretty basic. Let me get this vehicle started up, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you do have to have the radio on in order for this to work. Just like any of the features that we're doing, I'll tell you if the radio has to be on or off. Some of them you can do with the radio off. Some of them it has to be on. On the Kia Soul, if it isn't on, the screen won't light up and you can't obviously adjust the clock then. So let me turn you around to where you can see the radio. Okay, so here's our screen. Obviously, I've got a little bit more screen over here, but I'm trying to keep my GPS off for obvious reasons. There's two ways you can do this. You can hit your clock button and it'll pull up this menu here. Now in here, what you want is you want GPS time clicked and daylight savings time if you live in an area that adjusts for daylight savings time. So those are two of the basic things that you're going to want to have activated, those two. You could switch it to 24 hours if you're used to military time. We're not, so we don't use that. But that's the basics of how to get to that. Now, the Kia Soul is a little different because there are two different ways to get to this menu. The first one was to click here. So the other way to access it is to slide everything to the left. Okay, so here you'll go to Setup. Okay. Next, you'll go to General. And then it pulls up this screen. So that's the two ways to do it. You can either hit the clock to get this clock menu, or you'll go to Setup, which is by sliding to the left. Because when you're here, this is your main screen. Obviously, I'm showing only what I want to show here. But you can slide, go to Setup, then go to General, and then you come up with that screen. So, like I was saying, there's two different ways to access your clock on your Kia Soul, at least your 2020. Now, older ones, it was similar how they worked on like the 2015 that we had. It was all in that main head unit. Fairly easy to use, not much that we had to know beyond that. So pretty basic setup on how to do that. The biggest thing is to make sure that you have the GPS clock set and have your daylight savings time set. Now, if you want to go manual and do it old school, you can turn those two off and it'll let you manually adjust your clock. But it's a lot easier to just have it set up on the auto settings. That way you don't have to worry about the daylight savings. You don't have to worry about any of that. The only thing is if your battery ever shorts out or you disconnect your battery, you may have to go back in and turn those settings back on in order for it to work. So if you ever pull the battery, make sure you double check your settings. But pretty basic video today. Glad I had a chance to show you this. I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.